Hello everyone, today we'll discuss the part 19 of the NEET quiz important questions, and our today's topic is the midbrain part of the brainstem. So first try to answer the questions by yourself first. Superior colliculus are center for which reflexes? For the visual reflexes. Inferior colliculus are center for which reflexes? For the auditory reflexes. Features of the ventral part of the midbrain. So there are two crus cerebri present and they have interpeduncular fossa between them. Interpeduncular fossa contains what? It basically contains mammillary bodies, posterior perforated substance and the central branches of the posterior cerebral arteries. Crus cerebri is crossed transversely by optic tract, posterior cerebral artery and the superior cerebellar artery. Remember, posterior cerebral and the superior cerebellar artery. What are the lateral relations of the crus cerebri on each side? So there are parahippocampal gyrus, lateral sulcus and the trochlear nerve. Which cranial nerve arises from the medial side of the crus cerebri? Oculomotor nerve. Which cranial nerve arises from the lateral side of the crus cerebri? So it is the trochlear nerve. Superior and the inferior colliculi are separated by which sulcus? By the cruciform sulcus. Which nerve runs between the superior cerebellar and the posterior cerebral artery? So it is the trochlear nerve. What are the brachium of the superior and the inferior colliculus, and also they conveys which impulses? So over here the brachium are actually bands of white fibers and they conveys the auditory impulses. What does brachium of the superior colliculus connects? It connects the optic tract and the lateral geniculate body. While what does the brachium of the inferior colliculus connects? It connects the inferior colliculus and the medial geniculate body. Tegmentum, substantia, nigra, crus cerebri, these all are part of the cerebral peduncle. Corticonuclear and the corticospinal fibers are seen in which part of the crus cerebri? They are seen in the middle 3/5 part of the crus cerebri. Corticopotent fibers from the temporal, occipital, parietal lobes are seen in which part of the crus cerebri? They are seen in the lateral 1/5 part of the crus cerebri. Corticopotent fibers from the frontal lobe are seen in which part of the crus cerebri? In the medial 1/5 part of the crus cerebri. Corticopontocerebellar pathway is a part of which system? It is a part of extrapyramidal system. Location of substantia nigra. They are present in the cerebral peduncle, dorsal to the crus cerebri. Substantia nigra is a band of which gray matter? They are a band of dark gray matter and have pigmented nerve cells with iron and melanin pigment in them. Okay, this is a very important line. Substantia nigra extends to which part of the midbrain? They extends throughout the length of the midbrain. Substance P is seen in dorsal compact part of the substantia nigra and also in the ventral reticular part of the substantia nigra. Which neurotransmitters are present in the reticular part of the substantia nigra? So they are GABA, that means the gamma aminobutyric acid, ENK, that means the enkephalins, and the 5-HT, that means the 5-hydroxytryptamine or the serotonin. Neurons of the compact part of the substantia nigra contains dopamine. Mesencephalic nucleus of the trigeminal nerve contains which neurons? They contains unipolar neurons and have sensory nucleus. Mesencephalic nucleus of the trigeminal nerve receives which sensations? They receives the proprioceptive sensation from the face. Lateral meniscus ends in which colliculus? They ends in the inferior colliculus. What are the efferents and the efferents of the inferior colliculus? Efferents from the lateral meniscus and the efferents to the medial geniculate body. Edinger-Westphal nucleus supplies which structures? So they supply the ciliary muscles and the constrictor pupillae muscle of the iris. The preganglionic parasympathetic fibers reaches the ciliary ganglion. Red nucleus contains which pigments? They contain the copper-rich pigments. Which lemniscus are seen in the superior colliculus? Medial, trigeminal and the spinal lemniscus are seen in the superior colliculus. Superior colliculus are made up of 7 alternate layers of the white and the grey matter. Zonal layer of the superior colliculus receives fibers from occipital cortex. Optic layer of the superior colliculus receives impulses from retina. Pretectal nucleus located at the junction of midbrain and the diencephalon. Pretectal nucleus receives efferents from both retina. Pretectal nucleus sends efferents to Edinger-Westphal nucleus of the same side as well as to the opposite side. Fibers from the right and left vestibular nuclei are main constituents of which longitudinal bundle? Medial longitudinal bundle. Medial longitudinal bundle connects which cranial nerves? So they connect the 3rd, 4th, 6th and 11th cranial nerves. Fibers of the medial longitudinal bundle arises from nucleus of which lemniscus? Lateral lemniscus. Weber syndrome is due to the occlusion of which artery? Posterior cerebral artery. Which structures are involved in the Weber syndrome? Oculomotor nerve, Edinger-Westphal nucleus and the corticospinal tracts. What are the observations of the Weber syndrome? Over here, dilation of the pupil on the ipsilateral side, hemiparesis on the contralateral side, drooping of the eyelids and the lateral squint are seen. Which structures are involved in the Benedict's syndrome? Over here, corticospinal tract, oculomotor nucleus and the red nucleus are involved. What are the observations in the Benedict syndrome? So over here, dilation of the pupil on the ipsilateral side, hemiparesis on the contralateral side and the cerebellar tremors are basically observed. So today up till here, we'll discuss about the further important notes and MCQs of further important topics in our next video. Thank you so much.